Shalom, and welcome to this week's installment of Who's Who in Judaism. This week, I'd like to profile a woman whose very name is synonymous with the Catskills Borscht Belt, Jennie Grossinger. Born to a poor family in the Galician village of Balingrad in 1892, she emigrated with her father, mother, and siblings to New York in 1900 at age 8. Living first in a tenement building on the Lower East Side, she left school at the age of 13 in order to help support her family, working 11 hours a day as a buttonhole seamstress, and attending night school when she was able to. She had to conceal her age and hide when the inspectors came through looking for underage workers. Her father worked in the same factory until the strain of the work became too much for him. She married Harry Grossinger, who was a cousin, in 1912, and worked in a family restaurant in New York alongside Harry. Due to her father's illness, the family moved upstate to the Catskills for the environment that was seen as key to helping with supporting Jennie's father's health. Moving to a farmhouse and working the land, in 1914, in order to support themselves, they took on boarders in this upstate home, mostly other Jewish workers. Hosting boarders grew over time to be a larger and larger operation, until it truly became a hotel. The family pooled resources together, and in 1919 purchased a larger existing hotel, and then a significant amount of acreage around the hotel, expanding every year. By 1929, the hotel had a capacity of 500 guests, and the business was flourishing. While all of the family worked in the business, it was truly Jennie Grossinger who was the face of the hospitality that became associated with the Grossingers Resort. Jews from the New York area were drawn to this institution, where they could experience something that was referred to as Waldorf on the Hudson, while still enjoying kosher food, but in an elegant and indulgent setting. A piece of the Grossingers' approach was to attract the top musicians of the day, the comedians and the boxers, who would come to stay and entertain the guests. In the post-World War II years, Grossinger's reputation became such that not only Jewish clientele would visit, but even the most elite non-Jews sought out accommodations there. At various points, their guests included Governor Nelson Rockefeller, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt, Jackie Robinson, and Senator Bobby Kennedy. While the guests were treated to the very finest accommodations, Jennie made sure of that herself. She lived in a modest cottage on the grounds of the hotel, and worked daily as the hostess, overseeing the whole operation. Ultimately, the operation grew to 600 rooms, 800 acres, and a 1,700-seat kosher dining room, hosting as many as 150,000 guests each year. When her husband Harry died in 1964, Jennie turned over the day-to-day operations of the resort to her children, and focused her attention mostly on civic engagement and philanthropy. She was dedicated to the Jewish and non-Jewish causes and had a deep connection to the early state of Israel, supporting specifically the Hebrew University, as well as many organizations dedicated to supporting education and health-related charities. Jennie Grossinger died on November 20th, 1972 at the age of 80, but she continues to live on in popular culture. Characters based on her have been featured in Dirty Dancing, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and a recently announced upcoming TV series, The Mountains, will tell the multi-generational story of Jennie Grossinger and her daughter Elaine, as well as the rich history of the Jewish Catskills. While Grossingers closed permanently in 1986, the nostalgia for this time and place has had a strong pull. I spoke last High Holidays about the Borscht Belt Museum, which opened in recent years. The third annual Borscht Belt Festival takes place this coming weeks and has expanded to 2 full days of music, comedy, food, and nostalgia. Perhaps some of the foods that served there will be prepared from Jennie Grossinger's seminal cookbook, The Art of Jewish Cooking, which first appeared in 1978. Jennie's recipes have become famous over the years, and all were based on the phrase that she learned from her mother, "No one should go away hungry." Jennie Grossinger personified the rags to riches story of what hard work could produce in this land of opportunity. Even more so, she personified the importance of hospitality, treating everyone as though they were part of the family. Tune in next week for another installment of Who's Who in Judaism.